The group, Sarah, Jake, Paul, Elena, has reached a small abandoned farmhouse at dawn. Sunlight seeps through boarded-up windows, casting long shadows. They sit around a table, exhausted but relieved for a brief respite. Sarah: "For now we're safe. We can't keep running like this forever." Paul: "We said the same thing last time, and look where that got us." Jake: "Let's focus on what's next. We can't stay long." In the fleeting moments of quiet, their fears felt heavier. Safety was an illusion, always just out of reach. Elena checks her gear, while Paul stares out a window, tense. Jake notices Sarah looking at a photo of her family tucked into her bag. Sarah:
"We've made it this far, but how much farther can we go before it breaks us? Maybe we're already broken."
Night falls again. From the windows, faint figures of infected can be seen in the distance. Their low growls carry through the stillness. They always find us, eventually. Jake: "It's the noise. The chase earlier must have drawn them here." Paul: "Then we leave before it's too late." Infected weren't the only danger. Fear of discovery grew with every passing moment, suffocating what little hope they had left. Paul and Jake quietly board up the door, while Sarah watches the infected outside. Their glowing eyes in the darkness send chills down their spine. Sarah:
"The darkness outside mirrors the darkness inside us. But if we let fear control us, we've already lost."
The group decides to search nearby for supplies. The camera follows them as they silently explore an old barn. Shadows stretch unnaturally long, and every sound feels amplified. Sarah: "Careful, we don't know what's in here." Elena: "If we're lucky, food or tools." Paul: "Luck hasn't exactly been on our side lately. The hunt for survival was relentless. Every step, every decision held the weight of life and death." Paul spots a crate with canned food, but accidentally knocks over a rusty toolbox. The clatter echoes ominously. They freeze, listening for movement outside. Sarah:
"We're always walking a tightrope, teetering between survival and disaster. One wrong step could cost us everything."
The group returns to the farmhouse, but an infected bursts through a weak spot in the barricade. Chaos erupts as they fight to escape, using makeshift weapons to keep the infected at bay. Jake: "Get to the back door, now." Sarah: "Paul, behind you." Paul, grunting as he pushes the infected away. "I'm fine, go." In the chaos, clarity was a luxury. Fear clouded judgment, and instincts took over. Paul is bitten on the arm, but manages to throw the infected aside. The group barricades themselves in another room, breathing heavily. Sarah:
"We fought so hard to survive, but what happens when the fight turns on us? What happens when survival means making the unthinkable choice?"
Paul hides his wound at first, but Sarah notices blood on his sleeve. The group stares in silent horror. Sarah: "Paul, show me your arm." Paul: "It's nothing. I can handle it." Jake: "Don't lie to us. We need to know. The infection was a death sentence. There was no cure, no mercy, only time and heartbreak." Paul reluctantly reveals the bite. Sarah steps back, tears welling up. Elena looks away, unable to meet his eyes. Sarah's denial feels easier than acceptance. But the truth always catches up, no matter how hard we try to escape it.
Denial feels easier than acceptance, but the truth always catches up, no matter how hard we try to escape it.
The group debates what to do next. Paul insists on continuing, but Jake argues against it. The tension builds as the infected bang on the barricades outside. Paul: "I'm not dead yet. We keep moving." Jake: "You know how this ends. Don't put us in danger." Sarah: "We can't just leave him behind. There has to be another way." Survival demanded impossible choices. They all knew what had to be done, but no one wanted to say it. Sarah:
How do you say goodbye to someone who's still here? How do you let go when everything in you wants to hold on?
Paul, now pale and sweating, takes a moment alone with Sarah. They share a heartfelt conversation. Paul, I'm scared, Sarah. Not of dying, but of what I'll become. Sarah, you're stronger than this, stronger than any of us. Paul, promise me, you'll keep going, no matter what. In the end, all they had was each other, and even that wasn't enough. Sarah,
How do you say goodbye to someone who's still here? How do you let go when everything in you wants to hold on?
Paul begins to turn into infected and zombie. The group watches in horror as the infection takes hold. Sarah, with tears streaming, holds a makeshift weapon but hesitates. Jake, we can't let him turn. Paul can attack us. Elena, Sarah, do something. Sarah, whispering, I'm sorry, Paul. In the face of loss, the weight of survival became unbearable. They had no choice but to keep moving forward. Sarah,
We carry the ones we lose. Their weight is heavy, but their memory is what keeps us going. We must do everything to survive and fight against.
the group, shaken but determined, leaves the farmhouse and heads for the tunnels Elena mentioned earlier. They move in silence, haunted by what they've just endured. Sarah, we have to keep moving. For him, Jake, for all of us, Elena. The safe zone. It has to be real. Loss didn't stop them. It fueled them. Each step was a tribute to those they couldn't save. Each step was a tribute to those who were needed to be saved and be cured, Sarah.
Hope is fragile, but it's all we have. And we have to protect it, no matter the cost. Hope will keep us moving to those who can be saved.
The group emerges from the tunnels into a quiet clearing. The horizon shows a faint glimmer of dawn, offering a small sense of relief. Elena, we're close. I know it. Jake, let's hope you're right. Sarah, Paul would have wanted us to make it. Let's not waste this chance. Survival wasn't just about staying alive. It was about finding something to live for. Sarah,
The past haunts us, but the future is still unwritten. And as long as we breathe, we have the power to write it.